that you're all out here in the rain and directing the governor's attention to this issue. Also, let's make sure that we keep this in the budget for all sides. And I just cannot thank you enough. And I love being in your corner and having you in my corner as we make some Thank you.
So thank you so much, Senator May. We really appreciate it. Appreciate your presence, appreciate your words, and thank you for everything you said. Thank you. So I'd like to welcome everybody here today. And thank you for being here with us. We are New York Caring Majority, a campaign of older adults, disabled people, family caregivers, home care workers, who are fighting for a caring economy. A caring economy is an economy to have the care needs, to live and age in our own communities, and where people value who do the care work and will die and paid a livable wage. And today, as our elected legislators are all, as our elected leaders, we're all in the final days and negotiating a state budget. We need first a caring economy to be reflected in a caring budget, which our Senate Majority Leader, Andrew Stewart Cousins, said, ensures all New Yorkers are protected and doesn't rely on one-shot and austerity, but creates long-term equity.
We've lived through a year of huge loss. Over 543,000 people have died from COVID this year, and it's important to take the time to grieve such a tremendous loss. And the tremendous loss demands tremendous ambition. It demands tremendous vision. The New Caring Majority is organizing for everyone's rights to live and age in our own communities and not in institutions. This means that for us, it's especially important to grieve the 15,000 who unnecessarily died in nursing homes in New York State.
And like Mother Jones said, we're going to pray for the dead and fight like hell for the living. So after we grieve, we'll take some time to lay out how we can prevent a tragedy like this from ever happening again. We are going to tell our elected officials that now is not the time for small measures, but now is the time for a big investment that will fundamentally change the long-term care system. Fair pay for home care is not bigger. Fair pay for home care is an ambitious measure that will dramatically we are still talking and fair pay for home care that will dramatically imagine our long-term care system and save millions of lives.
Fair pay for home care will also get New Yorkers back to work and quality jobs, particularly women of color who have been disproportionately impacted by COVID. If we paid if we paid home care workers a living wage, we could fill the hundreds of thousands of jobs that our communities need and keep people at home and out of nursing homes while stabilizing local businesses and communities in some of the most disproportionately hard-hit neighborhoods across the state.
But first, let's take a minute to honor all of the lives lost, especially the 15,000 souls. The 15,000 souls who died in nursing homes this year. To help us do that, you will hear a song from singer-songwriter and former home care worker, Liana Gable. After the song, there will be 15 drum beats for the 15,000 lives lost in nursing homes, and we will take a minute of silence.
My grandfather, he taught me to sing. He was living in a nursing home and died of COVID in December. I would like to dedicate this song to all those who passed of COVID in nursing homes and their families. Please join along. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious fruit of grace appeared the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, trials, and sin, we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us there.
Now we're going to take a moment to sing Righteous Indignation.
stop here since we're right near it. And then, no, you're not. You don't look alright. No, I feel like I've gained so much weight. Oh, geez.
Our homes are nursing homes. 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 Free our parents, free our birds, free our people now. Free our parents, free our people now. Free our parents, free our parents, free our people now. Free our parents, free our siblings, free our people now. Our homes are nursing homes. Our homes are nursing homes. Our homes are nursing homes. Our homes are nursing homes.
So now we're going to hear from some of our care champions in the state legislature. I'd like to welcome Assembly Member Speck, former chair of Task Force. Well, anyway.
So, my grandfather did not teach me to sing. I don't know that anybody could have done that. I will say, however, that he did teach me the value of progressive politics and the importance of fighting for living wages for people. Not just minimum wages, but living wages. And so, I want to thank, of course, Brian O'Malley, who's an outstanding advocate for this group, and he has certainly impressed on everyone in the legislature the importance of increasing the pay for those who provide direct care, whether it's home care or in nursing homes. It's something that needs to be done. It is a moral issue, it is an economic issue, because it is not the so-called job creators that make the economy go. It's all of us here, it's you and I, spending money in the economy. And if you don't have enough money to spend, our economy is a failure. And that brings this issue, which is revenue. We have to raise the appropriate taxes on those who can afford it most in this state. And I know the Assembly and the Senate has been prepared to do that. However, the governor has now said that he's miraculously found a bunch of new money, so he doesn't want us to raise any taxes on his wealthy friends. Well, they've been growing wealthier and wealthier during the pandemic, while other people have been suffering. And it's time to do the right thing and have appropriate progressive taxation in this state so that we can afford to pay those who provide direct care, whether in homes or in nursing homes, the money that they deserve for the hard work that they do. I want to thank you all for all the work you do and tell you you certainly have my full support.
Thank you, Assembly Member. Now I'd like to welcome Senator Recklin Melnick, co-sponsor of Therapy for Home Care. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. This matters. The workers matter. The clients matter. Everybody who is part of this industry has such a critical role in keeping our communities safe, in keeping people healthy. As the sign says, the best way to keep people from dying in a nursing home, don't send them to a nursing home. You know, it is my honor to be sponsoring this legislation. I'm happy to report that the Senate in our budget plan put in $600 million, $624 million to raise wages for people in this industry so that people can earn a fair wage for the incredible hard work that you all do. This is hard work physically. It's hard work emotionally. I know I talk to people
you may come home, you're drained. It is a hard job, but it is so critical because it keeps some of the most vulnerable and needy people in our state out of nursing homes in the dignity of their own home. So thank you for doing what you are doing. I will continue to fight with a lot of my colleagues in the Senate to make sure that there is fair pay for home care. That's what we need. Let's hope we get this done. As Assemblyman Steck said, you have a lot of supporters in the Senate, you have a lot of supporters in the Assembly, and we hope the governor is listening and is going to be supportive in this budget as well, so we finally get this done. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for your
So, please join along. We are gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are justice-seeking people. We are justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are care-workers and daughters. We are care-workers and daughters, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are care-workers and daughters, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are caregivers and fighters. We are caregivers and fighters, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are caregivers and fighters, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gentle, loving people. We are gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. So beautiful. That was so beautiful.
And thank you for that beautiful song, Rihanna. And the rest of today, we're going to talk about how Governor Cuomo and the New York State Assembly majority can join us to save millions more lives by including fair pay for home care in the New York State budget. We want to thank the leadership of the Senate, particularly Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins and Senator Rachel May. They had the vision to realize that an investment in fair pay for home care was a big investment, yes, but it was a necessary one in New York, and New York is going to move in the direction of fairness and equity. Today, we call on the Assembly and Governor to join the Senate and include it in the final budget. Fair pay for home care is not expensive, but the vision it represents is a win-win for all New Yorkers.
All right, is everyone out there listening? Yeah! You listening? Yeah! All right, I'm just making sure. So right now, there are three major crises we're facing as New Yorkers. The safety and health of seniors and people with disabilities that remain in jeopardy as long as our system focuses on institutional care. Instead of community-based care, over 1 million people lost their jobs during COVID. And many, and I say many, are never coming back. And COVID has exacerbated existing inequalities of communities of color. These overlapping crises share a solution. Investing in what? Investing in what? In what? Home care! That's what I'm saying. Come on, let's invest in home care.
Let's invest in home care. Ho, ho! Hey, hey! Home care workers need fair pay! Ho, ho! Hey, hey! Home care workers need fair pay! Ho, ho! Hey, hey! Home care workers need fair pay! Ho, ho! Hey, hey! Home care workers need fair pay! Ho, hey, hey! Home care workers need fair pay. Ho, ho! Hey, hey! Home care workers need fair pay. Ho, ho! Hey, hey! Home care workers need fair pay. Ho, ho! Hey, hey! Home care workers need fair pay. Ho, ho! Hey, hey! Home care workers need fair pay.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, guys. This is beautiful. So by this wages for home care workers, New York can generate hundreds of thousands of well-paying jobs for a workforce that is majority women of color, while funding the growing demand for safe and dignified home care as our population continues to age.
We are here to tell Governor Cuomo that he can take huge strides towards fixing all of this with one investment: fair pay for home care. Fair pay will bring home care workers paid for 150% of the highest regional minimum wage, making it a living paying job. By including fair pay for home care in the budget, he would keep older adults and disabled folks in their homes and communities, not in nursing homes. But the best way not to die in a nursing home is not to be in one. He could wipe out the home care workforce shortage in less than 5 years, creating 20,000 additional home care jobs each year for the next 10 years, and almost 18,000 new jobs in other sectors. In all, the state would see increased sales and income tax collections and savings from public benefits totaling over $5 billion. Putting it on track to be one of the most successful economic development programs in history. He could help us move towards racial justice by improving the wages and quality of life for all workforce that is over 90% women and 80% women of color.
In the past, programs like this were too big or too bold. Today, the answers to the COVID-19 and inequality exposed in our society demand big and bold solutions. Governor Cuomo's budget director found $5 billion in the budget to prove new revenues to reach another $7 billion. We have the money, guys. We have the money for what? For fair pay for home care. You got it. So all we need to move this forward our leaders with the courage to do what is necessary for the big and bold change we need. So we are telling Governor Cuomo and Speaker Hastings that there is an easy way to keep people safe, to provide quality jobs for women of color in New York, and get people back to work. What is that again? Fair pay for home care? Just making sure we're listening.
Governor Cuomo, what do we want? What do we want it? What do we want? What do we want it? What do we want? What do we want it? What do we want it? What do we want it? We just want it now.
And now we'd like to welcome Assembly Member Albany, co-sponsor and chair of the Committee on People with Disabilities. Thank you. All right, good afternoon. Thank you all for coming out. The weather's not cooperating. It's kind of symbolic. We're standing in front of the governor's mansion and it's raining. When I left the Capitol, it was sunny over there. At least inside it was sunny. Because we in the Assembly and the Senate, we understand. We get it. Okay? We get it. A fair day's pay for a fair day's work. Right? A fair day's pay for a fair day's work. Right? Look, we've got a problem, and that problem is centered in this building. Human service workers throughout the county of Westchester, throughout the county of Albany, throughout every one of our counties, throughout the city of New York, throughout the state of New York. I said Westchester because I'm from Westchester. But it's the same everywhere. It's the same everywhere. Human service workers are not being paid fairly. And this is a form of discrimination against people with special needs. Right? It's against our most vulnerable people. It's our senior citizens. It's our people with disabilities. It's anyone who needs help. And this is permeating the entire budget of the governor. He gives us a budget that doesn't cut quote, economic development funds. It cuts funds to people who need help. It's a discrimination against people with special needs.
That's right, that's right.
So, when we look at the budget, we try to make sure in the Assembly and the Senate that people who need help are going to get that help. And the most important part of getting that help is having people there to give them the help. To help them have a good quality of life. And the way you do that is you get enough people into the workforce. And the way you do that is you pay them more than McDonald's and Burger King. Not less. So that's what we're trying to do. We're putting back the COLA. We're putting back the money for minimum wage. And we're looking for other ways to enhance the attractiveness of these human service jobs. You know, when you don't pay enough, you're not just hurting the people with special needs, you're hurting the entire community. Because if they're not paid enough, they're not bringing back enough money to their own families so that their families can live and eat and sleep in a decent place and progress. You're hurting their kids and you're hurting the entire community because they can't buy what they need, and so that depresses the economy in the community where they live. And it depresses the entire economy of the state of New York.
That's right, that's right, hey!
So austerity budgets are counterproductive. It may make the executive branch look good, but it hurts the entire state. You don't cut back in a pandemic. If you want the entire economy to do better, then you put more money into the economy.
And the best place to put the money is the people at the bottom of the economic scale. And unfortunately, that's where our human service workers are. That's not where they should be, but that's where they are. So we've got to bring them up. We've got to raise their standard of living commensurate with the work that they're doing, and it's very important work. So thank you all for coming out today. We in the Assembly and the Senate are going to fight. We're going to work real hard. We're going to fight to make sure fair pay for a fair day's work. And all of our human service workers, particularly our home care workers, should be paid a living wage.
Champions, let's hear it. Now hold up. There are still decision makers in New York State who need to get on board with fair pay for home care. We're going to take action together. Take action together to try to reach them right now. We need everyone right now. Take out your phones. Take out your phones. Take out your cell phones. Come on. And join us. To call Governor Cuomo. Let's do it. Take the phones out. We're calling Governor Cuomo. Everybody. Are you ready? I can't hear you. You ready? Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Here is the number. It is 518-474-8390. Did you get that? Yeah. I'm going to say it one more time. 518-474-8390. Now, I'm urging you to call them right now and tell them to support bold, visionary actions for New York by including fair pay for home care in the budget. Now, I want you to do a favor here, everyone. I want you to save that number in your phone. Save it under Governor Cuomo's phone number, office number, and call it every day, every single day until March 31st. Can I count on you to do that? Yeah! I can count on you. Yes! That's what I want to hear. Thank you.
Now we're going to hear from another senator, Senator. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. My name is John Mannion. I represent Syracuse, New York, Central New York, and I'm proud to be here today, proud to represent the 50th Senate District, and I want to commend all of you for doing the right thing at the right time. We need your voices. The governor needs to hear it. Our leadership needs to hear it. We need to make sure that the people that are providing this necessary service they are compensated fairly, and the people that receive these services are compensated, or they're treated fairly, and they're valued. They need to be valued. That's what this is about. It's about value and dignity. For too long, we have forgotten the people that are providing this service. And if somebody can receive the same salary and go somewhere and work in retail, that's just not good enough. We're talking about people who have established relationships. This is a compassionate vocation. They've made these connections, and we need to value them. And how do we value them? We pay them a fair wage, and we provide them with good benefits. That's what we need to do. So I'm pushing with you. We're all going to push together. The federal dollars are there. We need to not just make sure that these cuts are restored. I'm proud to have co-sponsored legislation to make sure that the people providing this service are paid fairly, and that's just not next year. That's going forward. We need to make sure that we can recruit and retain people to provide this necessary service. I stand with you. Keep fighting today. We're going to make this happen. Thank you for having me here.
And now we're going to hear from some folks whose lives would be changed by fair pay for home care. First we'll hear from Sage and Mark, a care pair from Rosendale, New York.
Hi everyone. My name is Sage. I'm from Rosendale, New York. And I have multiple sclerosis. It has taken away my ability to walk and to see, but I consider myself a reliable member of the community. I have friends, I have family, I have relationships. And what allows me to maintain those relationships is my partner, who also acts as my home. She helps me get up out of bed every day, shower, change, do all the facilities that you need to in order to be a member of the community. And this past year, his allowing me to stay home has kept me out of a nursing home, and I'm almost positive has kept me alive. I rely on this, and I am maybe a little vain when I think that I add a lot to my community, but I think that me being home and being there is a valuable part of the community, and it has allowed me to be there and be a part of it. And I want to thank him from the bottom of my heart, but I also want to advocate for a living wage so that he doesn't have to choose between a job that can pay our rent and a job that can help me live. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name's Mark Russell. I'm Sage's consumer-directed care worker and partner, and I just want to second Sage's call for fair pay for home care now. Sage was in the hospital 3 times in 2020 with sepsis, and if she didn't have home care, she would have been put in a nursing home where we know 15,000 people died tragically from COVID-19. She was able to recover at home, but while recovering from sepsis for weeks, I was paid $200 a week. Which is not enough to live on, and it's not enough to pay rent, and it's not enough to get food. And we know that so many home care workers around the state of New York are struggling to live on and raise their families and take care of themselves while working so hard to take care of other people who are in need in their community. So that's why we're here fighting for a fair pay for home care and asking Governor Cuomo and the Assembly and the Senate to join with the Senate and pass fair pay for home care at 150% of the minimum wage for fair pay for home care workers. Thank you.
What do we want?
to acknowledge that we have some staff members from Senator Ramos and Senator Hinchy's office here. Just want to give you guys a shout out. Thank you for being here. We acknowledge you and here, you know, we are grateful for your support.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Now I would like to introduce Pam Armstrong from CHCA, a home care worker, Cooperative Home Care Association.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, my name is Pam Armstrong, and I live in the borough of the Bronx in New York City. I have been a home worker for approximately 16 years since I got out of high school. Wow. It is absolutely a disgrace that it takes a pandemic which shocked the world about how necessary home care workers are to helping seniors and people who are disabled remain home in a good health. COVID-19 forced the government to finally recognize us as essential workers. But not completely. We were still working without an adequate supply of PPE, rational schedules, and most of all, underpaid. After all we did, putting our lives, our family lives, and honestly, anyone we came in contact with. I'm just speaking the truth, and it's sad that we work non-stop and put our lives on the line day in and day out, and we are not shown the respect like other people in the home care field. And yes, this is a real profession in the home care field. Fair pay for home care is necessary. It will help the home care industry grow and provide jobs for thousands of home care workers. We can finally earn a livable wage and be able to support our families. We will be able to pay all of our bills without being concerned about expenses to go to work or getting our children the things that they need. I am truly tired of worrying each month if I will be able to pay rent, buy food, pay a doctor bill for me and my children. Maybe I will be able to take a day off if needed, or even take a family vacation for the weekend and not worry about falling behind on my bills. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope this opens up the eyes of those who can include fair pay for home care in this year's bill. To sum it all up, I feel like this. I am an essential worker, but my pay is not. Thank you.
Before we hear from our next speaker, we need to make sure that our champions in the assembly know that we appreciate them and know that we have his back. So join us. We're going to do another phone call. We want to make sure that we call our assembly member chair, Richard Godfrey. So everybody take out your phones. I'm going to give you the number. Y'all ready? It's 518 455-4941. You get that? It's 518-455-4941. We want you to call him and thank him for his ambitious vision for New York and for fighting for fair pay for home care. So we want to thank him for fighting for fair pay for home care and ask him to keep up the fight and work with his colleagues in conference and get the Assembly to support the Senate's proposal.
Now save that number. We want you to call them every day from now until March 31st, again and again. And don't forget to call your assembly members and ask them to amplify this message in conference. All right? So next, we will hear from Mildred Gallery, a co-worker and owner of a home care agency from Massapequa Park.
Hi everyone, and thank you all for being here. My name is Mildred Gallery, and I'm a home care worker. I'm here on behalf of New York Caring Majority Organization. We're here because over 15,000 people have died in nursing homes this past year. We're here because we want moms and dads to be cared for properly with dignity and the comfort of their own homes. We are here because the only way to achieve this pay for home workers at a fair living wage is to address Governor Cuomo and our legislators. When I was 21 years old, I started on my journey of home care. I started off taking care of my husband's wife, my husband's aunt, and I realized then how important this work was. So in a day of a home care worker, we cook, we clean, we shop. We're there for the parents. We're there for the cry. We're there when they forget. We're also there to build a relationship. We're there for the love and the relationship that's nurtured between human beings. So in 2020, thousands of elderly died. And in 2021, we want that to stop. We want this to never happen again. The pandemic has shown us that humanity is at stake. This has gone on way too long. We have been underpaid and we have been serving our community. It is time that we get fair pay because we deserve it. We need it. We need care and we need fair pay for our families. In order to care for you, we need to know that our families are cared for also. There are many misconceptions about giving us fair pay. And one of them is, if we are paid more somehow, everybody gets less. That's wrong. We live in a society today where we value things more than we do people. That is wrong. We're willing to pay computer technicians to fix our computers without really blinking an eye. But for our families, we want to nickel and dime them. It's BS. Lives matter more than things, and we have confused it. We have placed things in place of people and our loved ones, and it's wrong because home care affects everyone. Whether you're in need of services, someone you love will, and at the end of the day, we're all going to need it. So we're putting the work in, now we want results. We want Cuomo to stand behind us, stand with us, and get this done now. It is long overdue. So I wanted to say thank you all. Let's keep fighting this good fight, and let's get into some good trouble. As John Lewis says, let's get it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Excellent. Lastly, we are going to hear from one of our senior leaders, Sandra Moore. During this pandemic, it has been so hard for seniors to come in person for any of our actions. Here to read Sandra's story is Denise Clark from CHCA. It's my honor to read this story from Sandra Moore-Giles. My name is Sandra Moore-Giles. I'm a 75-year-old African-American female from Kingston, New York. My whole life I have given and cared for my community. I have served as a chaplain with the New York State Chaplaincy Task Force. I'm the director of the food pantry at Point of Praise Church. I volunteer in prisons and jails. I was a foster parent for 106 children and adopted 4. And now I need some help. I suffer from lupus, arthritis, sciatica, vertigo, and some days it's hard for me to move and prepare my meals. My doctor has told me that I shouldn't bathe on my own. I am authorized to get 21 hours a week of home health care, and it has been extremely difficult to find that help with the low wages. My grandson was coming in to take care of me, but under the wages, he couldn't afford to assist me and be able to take care of his bills in his home. He went to construction work, which paid more money. When my grandson left in November of last year, I didn't have assistance for 2.5 months. Then in January, I was assigned an aide, but she only stayed for 2 weeks because she got COVID. I haven't had help since February 8th. The combination of COVID and the low wages have made it nearly impossible to find help. This doesn't change the fact that I need help. I know I am one of the millions of seniors and people with disability who do not want to end up in nursing homes. I live in a senior complex in Kingston, New York, where other seniors are also in need of home health care and are struggling to find it as well. If we had fair pay for home care, more people would want to do this important work to help people with their medical needs. At this time, we are demanding on you, Governor Cuomo, to hear our voices and read our stories. This is something we can make right. Think about the care you want from your own mother, Matilda, and your loved ones. This is the care that we want. We can save millions of lives by passing fair pay for home care.
All right, next, it is my honor to introduce the co-sponsor of this bill, Assembly Member Will. How are we doing today? It's soggy out, but we're feeling good and feeling strong out here. My name is Assemblywoman Jessica Gonzalez Rojas. I represent Western Queens, Jackson Heights, East Elmhurst, and Corona. Are the XC folks in the house? Yeah. All right. I am so proud to be a co-sponsor of this bill. I'm actually someone who 10 years ago broke my leg, and I had the benefit of having a home care worker help me and support me through that process. I could not walk for 5 months, and it took that home care worker to care for me. Make sure my food is being taken care of, and all of my personal needs are being taken care of so that I can heal. And that is the work that you all do on the front lines. You are the essential workers. You are the folks helping and healing a community that has been harmed both by this pandemic, but also by this unjust health system. So I am so proud to fight alongside you. It is our women, it is our immigrant women, it is our women of color that are doing the hard labor to ensure that our communities are healthy and can thrive. And I'm so proud to stand alongside you. My mother works in healthcare and home care. And again, I'm a beneficiary of the amazing care that you all do. So thank you. We'll continue to fight, and que siga la lucha. Thank you so much, Assemblyman Rojas. Really appreciate it. I want to thank all of you, all of our legislators,
and the powerful workers and consumers who came out to share their stories to the governor, to tell the governor that he can solve so many of New York's most pressing issues. With what? With fair pay for home care. And fair pay for home care presents our obvious solution to multiple crises facing our state. Fair pay for home care will create jobs when we need them. Most and lift hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers out of poverty, and while meeting the exploding demand for safe long-term care in the home. It is the smart job growth plan that we need for these critical times. What is that again? Fair pay for home care? Exactly. Thank you so much.
All right, now, as we have said, we need more than just the governor to come on board with fair pay for home care. We also need the state assembly. So we have one more call to make. All right, take out your phones. This time we're going to call Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie. Get those phones out again, everyone, and join us in calling Speaker Heastie. Everyone ready? Here's the number: 518-455-3791. Did you get that? 518-455-3791. Now we want you to call them and urge them to support bold visionary action for New York and include fair pay for home care in the budget now. Now, save the number and call it every day from now until March 31st. And don't forget to call your own assembly members as well.
I want to see all of you on those phones dialing and saving those numbers. So, taking action on social media as well. So please, check your email for a social media toolkit with sample tweets and posts. In addition to tweeting Speaker Hastings, Governor Cuomo, and your own assembly members to urge their support, please join us and give a big shout out to Senate Majority Leader Stuart Cousins for getting fair pay for home care into the Senate and House budget. Come on, let's give it out.
Now, it's your action that has helped us get to this point. We got this. Let's keep the pressure of these final days of budget negotiations. And to close us out, please join us in singing "We Shall Not Be Moved" by the Albany.
Ready to sing? All right. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Fair pay for home care. Fair pay for home care. We shall not be moved. Fair pay for home care. We shall not be moved like a tree that's standing by the water. We shall not be moved. Staying independent. Staying independent. We shall not be moved. Staying independent. We shall not be moved like a tree that's standing in the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved like a tree standing in your water.
everybody. Thank you so much for coming out today. Thank you for your support. We appreciate it, and we couldn't have asked for more. Thank you.